I suggest we start the webinar.
Welcome to the webinar, The Drone to Inspect. Our chairman, Elwin van Hark, would have loved to be here, but he would love to welcome you, but he's excused due to illness, and we wish him a very speedy recovery. The webinar is a collaboration of la Fédération Professionnelle des Drones Civils and Belgian Drone Federation. And so welcome to all of you from our board members. After the Interreg project from what we did last 2 years, with 7 very successful webinars, we are continuing this collaboration because we believe in the importance of cross-border network and cross-border knowledge transfer. We are also welcoming the participants of JEDA. JEDA is a joint European drone association, the European Federation that represents the interests of drone pilots to EASA and to the European Commission. Representatives of Belgian Drone Federation and FPDC, together with colleagues of 17 other European member states, are working in working groups to defend your interests as drone pilot in order to get practical solutions to the European drone legislation. We deliberately choose the topic drones to inspect, the topic of tonight, because there are still so many untapped opportunities for this application of drones, and in any case, inspections are very fast, affordable, safer, and above all, environmentally friendly to get solutions. We wish you an instructive evening, and I would therefore like to give the floor to Nicolas Rosen. Nicolas is the Innovation Manager of Vinsot. Vinsot is one of the largest inspection firms in Belgium and in other countries too, but they provide a broad range of services from conformity assessment, inspection, audit, trainings, and certification, either for regulatory reasons and other good practices in order to protect people and the environment. So, Nicolas, I give you the floor.
Thank you so much for the introduction, Petra. I am now sharing my slide. I hope it's clear for you all that I am in full screen, if someone could confirm. Yes.
Yes, that's fine. That's fine.
Thank you so much for that, just to be sure. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. I'm working for Vinsot. I'm Nicolas Rosens. I'm working as innovation manager. So I'm helping direction committee and my colleague from operations to develop new solutions, new services. We have started working on the drone, but not only on the drone, but also on robotics almost 4 years ago. The objective today is to share as many as possible insight with you about how we did it, how we continue to do it, to share with you our beliefs, to share with you our challenge and threats. You can see on the screen a small agenda. You see also, again, a short but dense agenda. Let me first introduce you. Who is Vinsot? So Vinsot is a leading inspection company in Belgium. We are mainly active in control of electricity installation, of energy and process industry. We are making a lot of inspection there. We are active in many domains of the Belgian economy. So our role is effectively being an inspection company. The objective I had for today, and certainly in this first part of the speech, is about setting the scene. I believe it's not a vain word to share with you the challenge we all have in this more globalized world. In our case, and it's definitely an opportunity, Vinsot has been acquired recently by the Kiwa Group, which is a large inspection firm. This is perfectly in line with a globalization strategy where we see a need to capitalize and mutualize efforts to be ready for the digital challenge we have in perspective. I will share them with you in a few seconds. So we are in an era of globalization. We see also that we have technology, and I should not convince you all that technology can make the difference, but not only. So we are really in a technological era where there are a lot of expectation from technology. And there is at a certain time, at this time, a large uncertainty. You see the image of the Ukrainian soldiers there. This is also reflected with the increase of the energy price. This provokes a lot of market instability. We are also at the edge of a recession. So the context is not easy for celebrating the 150 year of Vinsot. So what I wanted to share with you today is definitely some trends, some threats, some opportunities that are in front of us as inspection company. Of course, I choose a perspective that might interesting the drone sector, the Belgian Drone Federation, and respective partner. What we see as inspection firm is that we cannot stay still. There is a lot of business protected due to the legislation, but nevertheless, we see that with the arrival of robotics, of drone, also of automation, I could also put on my slide the scheme of a code, because robotics might also be digital robotics. We see that all those trends force us to reconsider how we work, how we deliver value. On top of that, we need to deliver value not only for our customer, but deliver value also for our inspector. We need to work more efficiently. We see that technology is an opportunity to change the way we work, to change the way we operate, and change how we deliver value to our customer. And today, I would say, our customers compare us to WhatsApp, to Starlink, to Netflix, to Zalando, which provide, I would say, a smoother digital experience that the industry is currently offering. So how we started to manage all those challenges and start working with drone and robotics. Again, for us, we do not make immediately the distinction between drone and robotics. It's definitely for us a way to work more innovatively and take less risk while we inspect. It's an opportunity to reduce the risk, but also reduce the immobilization time. So how we started this journey with drone and robotics? By experimenting. So we set up approximately 5 years ago an inspection team. And what you see here on the screen, that's basically our roadmap. Our roadmap was and still is focused on the development of digital services, because we deeply believe that digitalization is a source for us to gain efficiency, but also to develop more valuable solutions for our customers. As you might see, we started, it was a bit earlier, active, I will say, rollout of robotics and drone activities. First, we worked efficiently. We worked and we still work with external partner due of the volume. That's the start of a practice. So we have not taken crazy risk about that. So this is something we start developing incrementally. And quite soon we were at the beginning of the COVID. That's why you see a large red spot on my screen, which was, I would say, a quite difficult period to stimulate drone and robotics. The objective also here is to share with you how we pursue to work on that, even if the activities and the business volume were a bit reduced in some domains. So again, the main objective today is to share some ideas with you, to share some insight. It's absolutely not to give any lesson to anyone. So we have a lot of challenge, as I say, as inspection firm. So basically, what does that mean? As we have now new robots, new tools to capture the data, it's our role to share those data where it delivers value to our customer. And the many, I would say, challenge we have ahead as Vinsot, as Kiwa Group, but also as inspection firm first, is to move from a paradigm which is doing inspection on physical assets, just stopping, and it's already good, but it's not sufficient anymore to observe things and to do things right. Today, the world in which we evolve, it's more being a consultant, providing actionable advice, actionable data. More and more, we have the opportunity to work remotely with a replicate of the physical assets, so we work more on digital assets. We need to move towards solution and not observation. That's a fact. And trying to do the right things right. No, many lessons learned at once, but I would say that's something important to consider. What you see now on the screen is a small animation video that we developed internally, I would say 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, approximately before the COVID, where we wanted mostly to share that technology, drone, robots are really a technological way to make the difference. So it was important also, as we are a large company, to, I would say, work on the adoption of the stakeholders, work on the adoption of customers. So we need to show the technology, we need to experiment the technology. So a large part of the innovation journey was to experiment technology and to select the technology in which we could make the difference. So this helped us really to, how can I say, define new opportunities as an inspection company to create value with data. Because at the end of the day, the drone and the robots are for us a vehicle, but more than that, it's not only absolutely not an arrogant way to consider that, but it's a data acquisition mean. When we play with data, when we reinvent a bit the role of an inspection firm, you might see there are many opportunities to work more as a strategic advisor of our inspection customers that are also digitalizing their process. When we start working with digital data, with films, with video, we have the opportunity to apply AI, machine learning, computer vision. So it changed the way we execute our task. So basically, we detected many opportunities, and it was for us absolutely key to find our focus. As I said, we were during the COVID period, at the beginning of the COVID period, and we really asked ourselves what to do now with RVI, robotics, and all those type of advanced inspection. Sorry. So what we saw and what we discovered during our innovation test and experimentation is that when it goes about sharing technical information, technical data, complex data, a 3D model is really as a way to help the clarification. So basically, we did two reorientation at once. First, we started to work on the data, working on a platform to facilitate the exchange of data that were acquired by drones and robots. But at the same time, we started to inspect with the support of 3D model. And that's why we developed the solution we call now V3D. And this movie that I'm now sharing with you show a bit the new way of working. After the first movie, which was, I would say, more experimentation, playing with the drone and robots, now we have really integrated that in our way of working with our V3D tool. Of course, it's a digital tool. It's not the solution to everything, but it helps us to standardize the way we execute inspection, the way we annotate equipment, etc., etc. So it was, I would say, during the COVID and still now, it was a way to react on the difficulty we had, of course, to flight and to perform exotic or complex inspection during the COVID period. Then, so, as I said, quite quickly in our story, we decided to integrate the digitalization or the robotics efforts. We decided really to to accelerate of robotics activities and remote visual inspection and complex activities, to accelerate their development through digitalization. And we see how important when we try to promote those inspection, because we believe it's a role as inspection firm to promote non-intrusive inspection. It's a role to provide to propose safest inspection to our customer. So how we expect to tackle that is via the inspection plan. So basically, the 3D solution that we have developed, V3D, you see it on the screen here on the left. But the most important things to understand is the need to have a right inspection plan. We saw that it was difficult to sell complex inspection during the COVID, but when we take the time to take a look to the equipment, to build a business case, to get back to the basics and reassess the inspection plan, we see that there are many unexplored business opportunities with drones. So how we try to tackle it with Vincent is first to make, I would say, with the customer that are open to this type of solution. It means that they have a certain maturity, or they have, I would say, already take a step internally towards digitalization. We see that those customers are more than open to discuss the way to elaborate digital inspection plan. They are willing to test new inspection with drone and robotics. To be transparent with you, our main focus has been put on the energy, petrochemical and pharmaceutical sector lately. And there we see also that it's quite important to help our customer to educate them with robotics project in the broader sense of the meaning. So quite quickly, our drone story has become a data story. Voila. As the time, of course, is flying, and I want to also let some time to the question. I would like here to insist or to phrase some key message to the industry, to the sector. I am an innovation manager working for a large inspection firm, so I will say I have a quite comfortable situation while developing the drone market. I'm totally aware of that. So my message are really encouraging message to the sector here to encourage you to have a clear focus on what you do good, on what you do well. It's very important, and I went lately to the MIT in Boston and met a lot of people in New York as well in the tech industry. Everybody is insisting on the need to have data. So I would say whatever you do, be focused on the equipment, be focused on customer, be focused on specific processes, but don't forget the data. Second point, I believe, certainly in the time where we navigate into uncertainty, and I think it's a very kind way to say it, we are during a war, economical war for us here in Belgium, real war for those people that are in Russia. The tension are high, the economic context is not good, so it's not the ideal context to innovate and start exotic projects and activities. So I would say keep it simple, maximize what works well, deliver value, focus on that. And if you want to tackle complex stuff, don't do it alone, do it with the right partner. Then last but not least, I think the sector you all represent is a sector, I believe, of passionate people. So never lose the passion, never waste that, because even at Vincent, if we want to change the game, it's thanks to people that believe in what they do. It's to people that have the passion to do it. So I will say, don't lose your passion, but don't believe that piloting a drone is an end as such. So I would recommend deeply to develop some special extra superpowers. getting some knowledge on inspection, getting some knowledge about the norms, getting some knowledge about what your customers expect. So continue to learn, continue to increase your level of qualification, but don't lose the passion. Voilà.
Thank you very much, Nicolas. It's time to questions. See if somebody want to ask a question to Nicolas, or put it in the chat box. No questions. Nicolas is very clear about his message. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Now,
if you have any message afterward, you can contact me. But voilà. Thanks for your time. Sorry, Henri, I interrupted you.
Non, pas de souci. I see the. J'ai vu que j'avais encore la présentation en cours. Okay, so it's time to introduce Anne-Marie Haute, who is the Chief Executive Officer at Pilgrim Technology. And we let she talk about how they improve drone efficiency for the inspection. Anne-Marie, let's go. On ne t'entend pas parler, on a bien la présentation.
Okay, sorry. Could you hear me now?
Yes.
Great. Sorry, my Windows was just at the place of my micro, so it was impossible to turn it on. So, hello everybody. Probably some of you already know me, but I will introduce Pilgrim Technology in few slides, and after that I will present you our job. Then I founded Pilgrim Technology 10 years ago for the oops, is it okay for you? The slides are moving or not?
Yes, it's okay.
Yes, great. So I founded Pilgrim Technology for the safety of my staff, for the quality of data collection, and to save time. We developed tools adapted to the realization of our mission, like drones and robots. Our job is inspection, the industrial technical inspection, and we provide, we check conformity of our equipment. We do technical inspection, production, monitoring, expediting, pre-production meetings, audits, and a lot of other things about inspection in different kind of domains, like oil and gas, nuclear plant, offshore, marine, wind turbine, and things like that. We work in France and also abroad, everywhere in the world. The experience of our experts mean that we intervene for recognized inspection companies like TÜV Rheinland, Bureau Veritas, Lloyd's Register, and other that kind of company, and also for many major companies that trust in our solutions. Drones have emerged as incredibly powerful and versatile industrial tools, able to completing a wide range of application and enable limitless opportunities. Like in the screen, you can see some lifeboats test and David's test on a boat, filming by drones, of course. The nearly limitless visibility, data gathering, and analyzing capabilities make automated drones valuable for several industrial sectors, such as the ones I said before: oil and gas, power plants, distribution grids, defense, mining, offshore, of course, offshore structures, transport, infrastructure, building, bridge, and other industrial facilities. In fact, you can use drones or robots everywhere in industry. At Pilgrim Technology, we have a specialty. We develop and manufacture our own platforms to meet the expectation in terms of capabilities, autonomy, and safety. That's why we develop our own solutions. We develop, of course, drones, outdoors drones with big payload capabilities from 5 to 20 kilograms. Also indoor drones, like the small one that you can see here, Cyclop. But we also develop other kind of robotic solution, like land robots, underwater and floating platforms, and this special one. Maybe no, it's not a film. Sorry, I thought it was a film. So the last technology we are developing is a bit like a Spot from Boston Dynamics, but with 6 legs. So it's a really practical robot to go in different place. Really hard to go. I want to show you just some samples of integration we've made. And for example, this one, that is a sensor to perform UT control. We call it Taurus. And this drone with a UT controller inside has been tested for EDF in France. And even if it's not standardized yet, remote thickness measurement provide a really valuable information on the global state of the structures, and avoid the use of scaffolding and rope access. And that's the 2 points really important for EDF. Taurus system was also tested in a framework of an indoor experimentation. We tested to carry out on different sizes and shapes of metallic surfaces, and the results were in agreement with the measurement previously carried out on the structure by a human. So the conclusion is that there is a very big interest of using remote thickness measurement for doped removal control plan using drones when we don't want to have to use scaffolding or rope access. Not again. To collect data for quality control measurement, first of all, you have to analyze your project carefully. As you have all experiences, customers always ask for much more than they need and find it difficult to explain that their real expectations. Yet this is the most important question when you want to choosing a technology. It's what the client real expectation is. As soon as you know that, you can define the right technology you need to carry in your drone. Last year, I presented in the same format the difference between those different technologies. Maybe some of you were already there, between LiDAR, laser grammetry, and photogrammetry. And this evening, I will show you just some samples of those different solutions. The first observation is that as long as you don't need to collect samples or make repairs, the drone has advantages other traditional methods. You can saving time and money on rental equipment, mobilization, demobilization time, and things like that. You can improve the safety of the staff, of course. There is no doubt about that. And above all, when it comes to monitoring infrastructure over time, you can guarantee the repeatability of operation with that kind of captation. And that's something really important for the client. So the three big deals for them are placed in those three words: time saving, safety of the staff, and repeatability. For the application, of course, the most well-known operation and often the first step of the majority of inspection is, of course, the realization of digital ground or digital elevation model. Probably all of you have already made some of them, but as soon as it's finished, you can doing a lot of other stuff to deliver an information to your client. I can also tell you about other applications like the analysis of data with capture by drones to saving time to your client, money, and things like that. You can, for example, deliver them an ambient light occlusion solution to prove that the defects are really here. Instead, you cannot see them by your eyes. You can do some differentiation to have a measurement of a progression on a site. And here, okay. Okay, I'll show you two examples. On the left, we went to perform alignment checks on an oil platform to verify that it would still be able to jack. We checked the 3 legs with 3 racks each, plus the whole platform in only 2 days of captation on board. On the drones, we had a Leica BLK arc instead of 8 days of inspection on ropes. So 6 days less than with only human. We delivered a complete measurable 3D model instead of a simple series of measurements at pre-selected location. The benefit to the customer is clear and has high quality information and can compare it over time by doing the same operation again. So it's also a good point for us, because if they want to compare the data, they have to call us back to do the same job a second time or third time and so on. On the right of the screen, we carry out black assembly on a structure. It's a melting furnace, a big furnace, in fact, for industry. The structure is more than 25 meters long, which was built in several parts. As you can see here, you have two different parts, and the assembly is just there. Then we check all that to be sure that it will fit together well once on the assembly site. So with that small job made by drone with the same BLK arc of Leica on board, the client saved thousands of euros, and because they don't have to do the pre-assembly on their own site in the real life. We just do it on a virtual stage. Okay. Of course, many other services can be offered, but all have the same obligation. Start by a rigorous capture and of good quality. Therefore, it is really necessary to have a clear understanding of the expected deliverable for the client. For me, is the first row to understand. You have to do a really good analysis of the constraints to be sure to have the right platform and the right sensors. Depending each case, each time it's different. So you have to do a really strong analysis before the flight. You have to choose the right method and therefore the right equipment. So not only the right drone and the right sensor, but also the good way to flight to take the right pictures. You have to carry out a rigorous captation. If the data are good, the job is good. If the data are shit, of course, the job is the same, and it's a pity. And the last but not the least, master the processing of the data or entrust it to a company whose job it is. That's really important too, because if you don't use the right way to process your data, the result will not be as good as you are expected. So here you have a lot of different possibilities to do as soon as you flight around something, like the two big towers here and here. It's a 3D model made by a laser, and we put the photogrammetry on the laser grammetry model. So we merge the two different models to have a better result. So it was short, but I think I let a lot of time for the question if you have some more. And if you want to discover video or 3D models, you can find it on our different networks.
Thank you so much, Anne-Marie. Okay, Philippe, have you a question?
Yes, Henri. Hello, everybody. Philippe Boyagis. I am the president of the French Drone Federation, and I would have one question for Anne-Marie and Nicolas. Nicolas spoke a lot of the necessity to promote inspection to show that there are real business opportunities. Anne-Marie spoke about technology. So today, to develop your activities, what are the main difficulties or the main issues? Are they technology? So find the best solution to do the job. Are there the regulation, in particular intervene in populated areas? Are there more communication and commercial to explain that to your customer that you could do the job? Are there human resources to find the right person and the right skills?
Okay, so thank you for your question, Philippe. For my side, I've got still some issues with normalization, because actually people still are waiting to see the future and wait, because everything's changing every week, and then still it's not defined. They are rather to wait to be sure that they bought the right solution. So actually, for me, the major issue is linked to the regulation that takes too long time to go out. We are waiting it. They promise it for the 24, and actually it's maybe 26, maybe. So for me, it's the major issue.
So for you in this industry sector, building sector, they know today what they can wait from the drone application. They know all the advantages of the drone, with saving time, working in a more secure way, perhaps to obtain more accurate information. So your customer know all that.
A lot of them, yes. And actually, for me, the issue is that I'm not an operator. I am a drone manufacturer. So I'd love to sell them the solutions, but actually we have to provide it as a operation, because they don't want to buy right solution now, because they are not sure that in the 2 next year they still can fly with those drones. The CE mark is still not out for C5 or C6 drones. That's the kind of drone I manufacture, and actually it's just impossible to sell it to the clients. So I just can do I just can provide inspection with, but I cannot sell it to my clients. Actually, in oil and gas and in offshore fields, they really know the benefits of using drones. With EDF, for example, it's the same. They really know that there are a lot of benefits to use drones, but they don't want to have it right now, because they are not sure it will be still possible in the 2 next years.
Okay, so we have to work with our national regulator and with EADA.
Yeah, that's why I send you an invitation today for that.
Nicolas, you want to complete something?
Yeah, so basically, I think it's a challenge, dear Philippe, to find a high qualitative technical profile and resource. So it's not a secret that the inspection sector is fighting to get resource on project. But here, on top of this complexity, you have for us. So basically, I don't know, it's difficult to say now with the war and the change happening with the energy problem we have now in Europe. So this changed completely the way it will evaluate. But so far, we really believe that we need to discuss more with the digital transformation, the head of digital transformation, the head of IT, because those people are preparing the automation of processes, and they are confronting with inspection team that have not received sufficient resource of the past year, and have not worked with inspection companies sufficiently leading, that they are a bit a bottleneck in terms of digitalization. So our challenge, one of our challenge, I believe, is to discuss with the right person active with the digitalization of process, and to inscribe our activities, our local presence with new type of projects where new soft skills will be required, where the passion of the people needs to be identified, to coach them to learn on top of something, because it's very difficult to innovate and operate. So for us, the innovation needs to be really close to the customer needs, and we believe it's more located to the IT department at this stage. Voilà.
Thank you, Nicolas.
Thank you.
May I ask a question regarding operations related to what you have shown? Both of you have mentioned the importance of the data. How far do you feel that you have to keep the complete, I would say, under brackets, the control of the data management, analysis, and I would say value created from it by the operators? Or is there a part that will go out to experts of handling data? What's your view on the way the market would go? Is my question clear? No.
It's clear, yes.
Yeah.
Anne-Marie, I let you answer, or do you want me to start?
Oh, you can start.
Yeah. So it's not it's of course not an easy question to answer. Could you just please rephrase it a bit, just to answer it very sharply?
Yeah,
so it's about where to outsource the data, the importance of data acquisition in the process, right?
Yeah, and if you are looking to the American market, there are a lot of companies that are installing themselves in treating data. So in, I would say, finished and solutions. But what Anne-Marie has shown is that when she's combining 2, 3, 4 types of techniques of capturing information, then managing, analyzing the data, and being able to play with it to make it as valuable for the customer as possible, seems that it goes to more integrated data yourself as operator, then buying or outsourcing some of these parts of, I would say, high value, high financial spending money. Yeah?
Yeah, in our case, it's so intimately linked together that it's for us very difficult to totally outsource the data acquisition process. So it depends what we see. It's important to specialize the data acquisition process in domain where we have a dominance. So I will say where we have a market dominance, I will say it's our interest to integrate it, to have higher autonomy and have more flexibility to create value along the journey. And I saw on my slide diverse way to monetize the data, not only with customer, but you can develop new model of valorizing the data. That's one part of the answer, I believe. In other domain, because it requires money, investment, and a certain, we need to have a payback on short term. So full experimentation is not top of our agenda currently. So I would say they're relying on outsourcing, where you have then, I would say, a full automation from the data acquisition. If it provides automation opportunities, that will interest me to outsource that, because it becomes a separate field. Voilà, sorry.
Okay, thank you.
So for my part, I agree that it's very difficult to find a company that is clear about their calculation and the way he managed the data. That was we proposed to our client to manage this part in-house. But it's so touchy. It's a so touchy part that the most of time we keep it by ourselves and we deliver a result. Because processing the data is something so touchy, you can lose absolutely the job if this part is not well done. It's really hard to understand exactly, because people don't want to explain the way they calculate the models and which kind of algorithms they are using, what kind of filter they are putting on the data. And that's a part really, really hard to understand with them. So that's why we massively choose to process the data by ourselves. It's really hard to entrust another company to do it well.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much for questions. The other questions will be respond after the next presentation. Now, time to listen Sharon Humbert, who is Chief Marketing Officer at VHive, and she will talk about how they develop digital interface to improve drone data analysis. Sharon, can you partage your screen?
Yeah, just a second. I'll open my presentation. So apologize, just a sec. window. I chose that. Anne-Marie is still sharing. Anne-Marie, can you please get out of the sharing presentation? Thank you. Okay. Can you see my presentation?
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay.
It's not a full screen.
Now it's full screen. Are we good? I can't see you guys, so I believe that's good. So good evening, everyone. My name is Sharon Imber. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer here at VHive. And thank you for the opportunity to present to you all. And thank you for all those that have stayed till now to listen to my presentation. VHive, we are a digitization company. We work with enterprises, enabling them to digitize their assets autonomously.
Excuse us, Sharon, but we didn't see your presentation on the screen.
I don't see it. I was just okay, a second. I'll do it again. Okay.
Maybe you were sharing the wrong screen, Sharon.
No, I'm not. Okay, let's try again. Now, maybe I'll see it now. Can you see my screen now?
That's perfect.
Oh, fine.
Okay, see the second slide?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
wonderful. So, okay, so let's continue. All the enterprises that we have worked with are companies that have large-scale deployments of assets over large areas. And they live and do their operations by getting data from the field and making better decisions on an operational and business perspective based on the data they are getting. I'm going to talk about, we work in many verticals. I'm going to talk about one and then expand into others. I'm going to bring examples of the tower industry. There are a lot of tower sites and rooftop sites with communication equipment where the current method of understanding what is going on each and every site is to send people. It's a very manual process. These people have to climb a tower and they bring information. The challenge are that the data that they're bringing is typically fairly sparse, manually captured, visual. So in many cases, it's just a checklist. It takes a long time to cover the entire infrastructure. And by the time they get the information back at the headquarters, sometimes this information is already not current anymore. It's expensive, and it's actually dangerous in a lot of cases, because you have to send out a crew of 2 tower climbers that sometimes climb a 100-meter tower. The bottom line here is that in many cases, you get information that is not sufficient, that leads into poor insights and poor decisions. What VHive does, we are the only software solution that enables enterprises to deploy an autonomous hive of drones with the goal of generating digital twins of their assets. Let me break this down. First of all, we are a software company. We enable our customers to work with low-cost, off-the-shelf drones that they can buy in any store around the world. Our software makes these drones do amazing things. The important part is that our system enables scalability. And in addition to using these low-cost off-the-shelf drones, we also invested in autonomous capture. That means that in order to operate the drone, with VHive, you don't need to know anything about how to pilot drones. You basically take a tablet, press a few buttons, and the drone will take off autonomously and capture that data seamlessly. So you can equip your field personnel, a person that works and maintains your assets in the site with drones, or bring drone operators that can do the task for the customers. We also mentioned the word hives because VHive supports the ability to use multiple drones that are working together as part of a single task. So it's highly scalable, and it's a very, very unique capability that we offer. So this entire pillar has to do with autonomous capture of data, how our workforce can use another tool in their toolset, a drone, to capture data. The goal is creating a digital twin of each of the assets in a portfolio of a customer. which is creating a 3D visual copy of each of the sites, being able to analyze it instead of have to climbing it. So we're moving from the picture on the left-hand side, which is how inspections are being done today, a lot of places, to the picture on the right, drone capturing data in a digital twin that the system generates online. Let me show you a short demo of our system. Okay, the experience looks like this. A person goes out to the field with a small drone that interacts with a tablet. They slide a slider on the screen. This tiny drone takes off by itself, and there's no piloting of the drone. The drone, in this specific case, will fly toward the tower site, and as soon as the drone reaches the tower, it will identify the location of the tower and correct its position to be directly above it. And once this happens, it starts capturing data systematically on the tower at every level and every angle. What comes out is this digital twin of the site. This is not a video. This is a 3D reconstruction of the site that you can look in from any direction. You can zoom in, and you can use this 3D model for inspection, for measurements, since it's a model. I can also identify automatically all the equipment installed on the site. So we can get an understanding of the entire inventory of the equipment installed, including dimensions, orientation, wind loadings, and things like that. And we can also add information like tenants in this case, and sort where the different tenants on the tower, which is important for the tower companies as a whole. We also have the ability to generate a 3D CAD simulation environment that we'll see in a second of the site, where users can modify things on the site and do planning of what the site needs to be, if it needs to be changed, if we want to add equipment, if we want to delete equipment, if we want to modify the information on the site. And if you see here, I'm moving the heading of the equipment in different degrees, and automatically this online, you can see the difference. I can delete information, I can add information, and again, this is a simulation environment to help the customers do all kinds of simulations for their sites. All the information is aggregated into a site report that can be downloaded from the system. VIAV also provides a 360 virtual tour of the site premises. Think of it as Google Street View, but from the air. So this is a short demo, really try to grasping a glimpse of what our system does. In the tower sphere and domain, we support multiple use cases. Inventory verification synchronization, enabling automated mapping of all the equipment that is installed on a tower, synchronizing it with the different asset management systems so we can flag discrepancies or update mismatches. Engineering team can use a 3D model to simulate, measure, and understand the engineering side of things. QA and inspection for maintenance. We have done a lot of work in M&A. When customers are buying acquired sites in different regions, we can be their eyes in the field and bring many data and insights to the evaluation process. And of course, work and construction acceptance and new site acquisition, whether non-existing sites that we can help plan or an existing sites that you would like to retrofit with additional equipment. Other industries that VIAV is active in is on the upper left-hand side, you can see crane inspections, eliminating the need to take the crane out of the work site or the work environment and bring drones to monitor and inspect the crane within the work site. On the top right-hand side, you can see construction, no need for scaffolds and safety inspections, insurance industry comparing before and after an incident, and infrastructure such as bridges, eliminating the need for downtime or closing the bridge in order to do the inspection. We have success with different customers in the world. We have been deployed globally in all 6 continents. And just to summarize it, we bring a full digital twin platform that has a proven track record with global customers. We have, as I said, worked in all the 6 continents. We provide a solution that's fully autonomous, is easy to use by anybody. That we use the drone as a tool. It's highly scalable. We've done thousands of sites with customers around the world. We support many use cases. And overall, it's an end-to-end digitization platform for enterprises with field operations. As Nicolas mentioned before, data is the king for enterprises that have assets around the world, that are big believers in digital transformation and digitizing their whole portfolio to be part of the future and the revolution. That's it on my side. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sharon. Somebody have a question? Philippe Voyages?
So I would have for Sharon. Hello, Sharon.
Hi.
Same question as others. So the main difficulties for you, is it today technology, regulation, commercial communication, human resources, or perhaps you don't have any difficulties and you have a huge development in front of you? I don't know.
First of all, yeah, I wrote down my answer before when you asked the question. Thank you for the question. It is a great question. I would say that, first of all, it matters in what region you operate. There is a variety between the different regions. I would say some areas it's a change management issue. Adding drones into the workflow and changing the workflow processes, internal processes, and how people are used to work and how they used to work with data and how to use with drawings. And now everything's online. It's a software. You can interact with it. You don't need a lot of paper. Is an issue. It's hard. It's a barrier for customers to create this change within the organization. There are areas, I would say, there are regulatory issues more in dense and urban areas, which of course is reasonable. I don't see it as a technology issue. That's not on our side. I think what I've been operating the last 5 years in this domain, it takes time to make this change and move into the digital future. But the minute the big players, the tier 1 players are already, one step into it, everything will follow. I do believe that everything will follow.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
And perhaps a more concrete question. Very often you work in populated areas within towns. Perhaps sometimes it is for regulation problem impossible to do the job on certain places. How do you explain this to your customer, that these places could not be do with the drone?
First of all, there are sensitive areas like airports, like military places. So I think it's straightforward and customers understand. In dense areas, if we don't get the right permit, we be straightforward and say we won't be able, and then you can do manual inspection in that area. By most of the processes that we've done with customers around the world, I would say, I don't know, don't catch me by the number, but 90–95% we can do. It's the 5% that we need to tackle.
Okay, thank you.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you, Sharon. Somebody have a question?
Yes, I see a question.
Pierre, do you want to?
I asked about the drones. I saw the beginning of the question. So yes, we do support DJI drones. The Mavic Pro, as you wrote there, is one of the drones that we support. So the answer is yes.
Great.
If I saw the whole question.
Yeah, it was the question, but sometimes we have to see very little details when we proceed to an inspection. And if we cannot get very close to the object to inspect, we sometimes need a better resolution. So I wanted to know whether it works also on the M300, for instance.
Our philosophy about drones is really to go to the low-cost, off-the-shelf drones, the smaller drones. Not that our customers won't need to invest a lot of money in this process and solution. We're not going at the moment to the big, more expensive ones. We're staying in the low-cost area.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Okay, maybe it's time to conclude with Philippe.
Okay, thank you, Henri. No other question? Okay. So it's now, as you just said, it's now time for thanks and announcement. Thanks to Elvin van Erck, President of the Belgian Drone Federation. So I wish him a quick recovery because I understood he's sick. With the Belgian Drone Federation, we lead a great collaboration with our French Federation through these joint conferences, because it is not the first one. We did a lot together before, and I hope we will go on again to organize such conferences. We have also both Belgium and French Federation strong involvement in the European Federation, JEDA. JEDA, I think that everyone knows JEDA, which means Joint European Drone Association. So as it was said before, today the drone regulation is European. Sometimes the funding, the financing of drone activities such as César are decided at European level. So for this reason, we think that JEDA is very important for us. I thank you all, operators and drone pilots, for having participated to this webinar. I hope you have learned a lot, especially on the concrete and practical level of the mission. On my side, I noted two important words: data, 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 and also innovation, innovation, innovation. I again thank very warmly on your behalf the speakers, Sharon Humbert, Anne-Marie Haute, and Nicolas Rosens. Bravo à vous tous. Merci. Thanks. And specific congratulations to the co-organizer, Petra Bren from Belgian Federation, and Henri Geoffroy. Merci beaucoup, beaucoup. Henri, who gives you another appointment on November 7 for our next conference on the fight against drone. So the subject, yes, it is fighting drones, which will be for us in France a real subject for the next Olympic Games in 2024 in Paris. So I hope you will be with us. I wish you all a nice evening, and I hope see you soon, and to share again our knowledge and experiences. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bravo, very nice. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Goodbye.
So interesting.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody. See you soon, Philippe.
See you soon, Fabrice.
Mais bye bye à tous. Bonne soirée, Petra. Merci. Je t'appellerai demain.
Ça va.
Salut, Philippe.
Salut, ciao. Bravo, merci.